Hello, thank you for watching this episode of Chronicle of Our Kings today. You're really going to enjoy my discussion with Mr. Dellon Paul. He's a CPA in Canada, but he is also a father, and he is someone who has experienced major anxiety and bullying and just those really that inner critic just almost trying to take over in life. Feelings of abandonment because of how he grew up. He survived Hurricane Ivan. There's just a lot of his backstory that even I was surprised to hear, having worked with him on some other things in the past. And um, he really has a very inspirational story that I think you will find value in. So check it out and let me know what you think. And all right. So, welcome to another recording of Chronicle of Our Kings. I am Shirley Brooks, and I'm here with Mr. Dellon. We're going to chat with him in a minute. Say hello.
Hi, nice to meet you
Um,
guys.
Hello. So, before we get started, I just always like to introduce myself and say why we are here and why we are doing this. I am Shirley Brooks. I'm a life coach, and I also do a lot of other things. But I am a mom above all. Being a mom of one young man that actually just turned 13, when all the things happened with George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter things happened here in the U.S. Um, I there was this day in June where everybody was basically like in a moment of reflection, I would say. And in that moment of reflection, we all were trying to figure out what is it that we can do, right? And for me, what came up was the fact that there is not there's not enough positive stories out there of Black men, and that there's not enough access to information for young Black men or young kings for them to find somebody like them or somebody doing what they want to do. Um, to be able to see that they've been there, done that, they went through things, they got through it, and they're successful at being X, Y, and Z in everyday life. We have the stories of athletes and things like that, but we don't necessarily have the story of just the regular everyday guy. And so my goal with this was to tell those stories. And we've had several interviews so far already. And here we are with our Mr. Dellon. And he is going to be today's king that we talked to and chronicle his story. He is a CPA and he is also a father, but I don't want to speak for him. I'll let him introduce himself to the world. So tell us about Dellon.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Shelly, for inviting me to this. I mean, you're doing an amazing job with really inspiring a lot of our young Black people. So thank you for bringing me on this. So I was born in one of the best islands in the Caribbean, Grenada, and my story has been pretty interesting as I was brought up. I know a lot of Black people have stories parallel to mine. You know, when I was 4 years old, my mom left. I was abandoned by my dad. You know, because of that, I was in school, had low self-esteem, had a whole issue of anxiety because of being abandoned. I
Mm-hmm.
started to act out in school, you know, fighting and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And when Shelley asked me to be part of that, then that's one of the reasons why I want to share my story, because I understand what it is to be abandoned. I remember as a little boy growing up, you know, I used to be crying on my pillow because my mom and my dad wasn't there. Because of that, I went out into the community and I was looking for who I am. I
Uh-huh.
was, because of I was under peer pressure, I used to hang around the wrong sort of company, stealing and fighting, and doing a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of young men did today.
Mm-hmm.
It has been extremely hard for me to overcome. I didn't really see myself as being important because the very people in my life who supposed to treat me with love and really keep me close. They left me. So I felt like I was just I was just someone who didn't supposed to be here anymore. But as I begin to go through life, I always said to myself, I want to be someone.
Mm-hmm.
I always said to myself that I want to be a man. I want to be someone that when I get old, that someone people can look back and they can say, I want to be like this young man. I remember as a little boy growing up, I used to be sleeping on the floor. And while sleeping on the floor, I said to myself, I want a bed. At that point in time, I was a visionary. I was beginning to know what I want. And
Right.
remember
Yeah.
at a 4, 5 year old, I was like, I want a bed.
Right. I don't know
Today,
what 5-year-old is thinking that, right?
today I'm sleeping on a bed. You see, people, as I begin to go through life, even though it was tough and I had so many different obstacles, one of the stuff that I said to myself, I am going to fight through life because I want to become someone. Along my journey, there were many people throughout my life who said, I want to partner with this young man. My aunts, many different people, my mentor, people rise up and say, I want to become part of your journey in life. And that really helped me to become the man I am today. My defining moment was when I was in 2004, there was a hurricane that hit my island, Grenada, Isle of Spice, best island in the Caribbean. And while I remember when I was there, my house fell there. And at that point in time, I realized that I could have died. And then I give my life to the Lord. I become a Christian.
Okay.
Through that time, I was able to find out a lot of who I am as a man. I was able to remember there's one scripture that really in my mind, and today I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Right?
Yes.
That scripture really came alive within me and make me understand that though I was forsaken by mother and father, I have purpose, that I am important. And today, for those of you who are watching me and listening to me now, I want to say to you that you have purpose. I want to say to you that you are more than what your circumstances say that you are. I want to
Oh,
say to
wow.
you that you are more than what your abandoned situation say to you, right? Don't let your abandoned situation determine who you are. You are important. There's something within you that is for greatness. And though where you are right now, that is not where you're going to end, right? As I said before, I was on the floor,
Yeah.
crying and weeping. Mother wasn't there, father wasn't there, but I was hopeful. I was hopeful that I want to be a father, have my own family.
Mm-hmm.
I was hopeful that I want to be able to have a bed. I was hopeful that I want to be able to be a man with integrity. Today,
That's
young men,
amazing. That's
today,
amazing to
young
me
men,
because you had thoughts within you that most people don't have when they're going through that type of adversity, right? And where did that come from? Like how were you inspired to want to have the vision of, I want to be a good father when I get older because that wasn't given to me. I want to have a good family because that wasn't given to me. I want to have a bed because I don't have one right now. I want to make a difference in somebody's life and make them feel like they can be whatever they want to be because that wasn't given to me. What inspired you? What gave you that drive?
pain. I think going through life and knowing how hurtful it is, knowing the tears that fall from your eyes when you wanted your mom to be there, when you wanted your dad to be there, when you
Mm-hmm.
see kids at school had their parents and you just wanted to have your parents also, that
Mm-hmm.
situation they make me understand that I don't want my kids to go through the same thing. And what I understand, and I think that what really propelled me even more is that one of my uncle, he said to me that my dad couldn't love me the way that he wanted to because he was abandoned himself. And then his
Right.
dad abandoned him. And his dad abandoned him. And that has been the story of a lot of our Black people. But I want to say
Mm-hmm.
something today. It doesn't matter what is your generational story. You could
Yes.
break it, right? We could break
Yes.
it. Just remember that.
Right. Wow, Dellon, that's crazy. That's amazing stuff. Like I would, for those who don't know, like I mean, I've talked to him about things before, but I didn't know this part of his story. And that's just the fact that you have that drive and had that drive and that inspiration and motivation to move forward, even without, you have kids now that are going through the exact same thing in different ways. Those feelings of abandonment, whether it's
Mhm,
that mom is there but dad left, or dad is there and mom left, or nobody's there,
mhm,
or
mhm.
you just feel alone and you wonder, like, what's in it for me? Like, where do I go from here? It does depend on you making a decision to say,
Absolutely.
I want better. It sounds brash or brutal or harsh to say it, but it depends on you. You have
Absolutely. Absolutely.
but
Yep.
but and your story shows, and many other stories like yours show that we all have it in us. We just have to make a decision. You made many decisions that
Yep.
propelled you in a whole different direction than where you could have gone, because a lot of people go in a whole opposite direction than you
Yep.
have,
Hmm.
coming from the background that you've come from. So amazing, good story,
Yeah.
and we're not even finished talking yet. So um, so we talk about you, Dellon, the man. What about you in terms of your career? Talk to us about what you do for a career, what made you choose that career, and what motivated you? What motivated you to be able, especially coming from the background you've come from, right? What
Yeah.
motivated you to be able to do that? But tell us about that, how you got into it, and what motivated you to keep on going.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I always love numbers. So as Shelley said in the beginning, that I am a chartered accountant, so I already had a passion for numbers. However, I didn't have any direction. I didn't know where I was going to go. I just wanted to just come out of my life situation. And but then I remember when I was 11 years old, there was this guy in my community who saw potential within me, and
Mm-hmm.
every single night he brought me up to his house and really give us food and mentor us and help us to help me to become the man who I am today. I'm only saying this mentoring part because a lot of us, a lot of black men who might be listening to me now today, there's a role for you in mentoring young men, because a lot of times we want to solve the whole situation to inspire and to empower our young men, but we have a huge role to play. It doesn't matter whether someone is your kid or not by blood, but I think we need to have compassion. And that guy had compassion for me and a few young men in my community that he was willing to help us to come out of poverty. Today, because of his mentorship, because he believed in me, because he spoke life into me, today I am who I am today because of his mentorship. Another situation that has been very an aha moment for me was when I was in my first job. As I said, I didn't really have much direction in my life, and one of my boss, who today he's one of my mentor again. And one day he called me and he said, I think you should really do your accountant designation. And I was like, really? I don't think I could. And he said to me, he spoke life into me. He said, I believe in you. I think you will be a really good accountant. And he tell me the path where to go. So even though I had ability, but I had no direction, right? It's so important to be able to have direction. Direction is so important. Know what you want and go for
Okay.
it, right?
Okay.
And because of that, I was able to do my accounting designation, finish my master's, and today I am an accountant.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love that you point out the fact that having a mentor, and it could go both ways. Like, it is important for people who are watching to know that, if you feel like you want to give back and you don't know how you can give back, what you have right now, the gift that you are, the thing you do on a consistent basis, that has brought you success in life, is it qualifies you to go out there and teach somebody else how to do the same thing. But not just that, young men who are watching, you go out there and seek mentors. Look for
Absolutely,
somebody,
absolutely.
right, right, because there's somebody out there who knows how to do what you want to do, and they're
Yeah,
waiting for somebody like you to come to them and say, hey, can you show
yeah,
me how? you
Yep,
know? So
absolutely.
it goes both ways. So that's amazing. And then you also said that you had the capability to do it, but you didn't believe in yourself enough or didn't realize that until somebody spoke life into you. And it is critical that we continue to speak life into our young men. They don't, even sometimes with the dad being in the house, much
Yeah,
less, not being there, or the mom, whatever the situation is. And a lot of times you'd be surprised, there are families that are so-called complete units.
yeah,
And that encouragement to live in your purpose and be the best you that you can be is not there. So
yeah, so true.
yeah,
Hmm.
but that's good deal, good information. So you're CPA. Anything else you do?
Well, recently I'm also trying to build my business on the side. As I told you this, I want to able to do a consultancy and accounting on the side. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my passion, and I'm just actually going into that right now. But apart
Mm-hmm.
from that, I also have my YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
which I am in the process. And the reason why I started my YouTube channel, because I know where I came from, the struggle that I had, and I just want to able to just share my story to inspire people, because I am who I am today because people inspire me.
Awesome. So you mentioned earlier, you became a Christian several years ago, and it
Hmm.
was inspired by, or I guess it came kind of after your house fell in a hurricane, on the island you were living on, and that kind of started your transformation as well in terms of where you are today. Um, but you also said something to me that I thought was interesting. You said that, when we were talking before this, you said that, um, you don't think you're very religious today, but your values mean a lot to you. I thought that was a important statement, because I think a lot of us were raised a certain religion, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
raised Christian as well, and although I'm not like knocking down the church doors or anything like that, I'm not any less, have no less love for God or no less love for values and stuff like that. What does that mean to you when you say, I'm not religious, but my values still mean a lot to me? Because there are, teens, even adult people who are going through this process of like, who am I? What do I believe in? Do I still believe in the things that I was raised with? Does it make me bad
Mhm.
because maybe I might like this and not that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
no, definitely.
so help me understand that. Like, what do you mean when you say I don't consider myself to be very religious today, but my values still mean a lot to me?
Yeah. And I think you said it incorrectly, because like not going to church and all these kind of stuff there. But for me, I my values still means a lot. The Christian values, I hold it dear to my heart. That was very transforming to me. That really helped me to be the man who I am today, for know my
Hmm.
purpose, my identity as a man. So I hold it very
Hmm.
dearly. However, I don't go to church every week, right?
Hmm.
And this is something for me that my love for God will not change. My respect for humanity will not change,
Right.
because I believe the values is something that really helped me a lot. But I don't believe you have to really go to church every single day to be less of a believer. So this is what I mean.
Yeah. Same here. Do you you mentioned that you are a simple guy,
Mhm.
who's overcome being abandoned and, being bullied and peer pressure, even having anxiety. And you also mentioned that, even though you talk a lot today, you used to be very timid. You used to be very timid, especially, in crowds and stuff like that early on in life. Um, a lot of young men miss out on opportunities right now because
Yeah.
of their, being timid or shy, or, they're afraid because they're being bullied and they don't feel like a
Mhm.
man or feel powerful because of things that are going on. How did you overcome those situations?
Okay. Yeah, well, first of all, I'll talk a little about those situations and talk about how I overcome it. So when I was in
Mm-hmm.
school, I had buck teeth. People used to call me like different names, like teats. They used to call me, I couldn't say TH and CH words, so I used to be called
Mm-hmm.
funny names like Cree and all different kind of names. So those names
Mm-hmm.
actually play on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why I was very, very timid. However, when I become a believer, I realize that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I understand that I am unique. I understand that I'm special. I understand
Mm-hmm.
that I am, when I look in the mirror today, because of what the Word of God, what the Creator said to me, I understand
Mm-hmm.
that God made me different and special than anyone else. So that kind of really helped to really kind of help me to cement my belief in who I am, help me to cement my integrity, and that really helped me today into having the confidence that I could able to have those kind of interviews that go in throughout the world. I mean, it's so funny when I look back and I could not have even seen myself looking in a camera because I thought I was too ugly to look in a camera. But then now, and because of what God's word said to me, and me going out there, and then people also say, "Oh, you're such a wonderful person," and because of the what the word of God said to me, then that gave me hope, and I continue doing it and continue breaking that barrier that I was set throughout my life, and now I feel like I'm able to talk in any situation.
That's awesome. And I can totally like I can feel that because or that resonates with me because that was one of the things for me when I was in high school. And really even middle school, my self-esteem was really low. And so I would walk like I would just look at the ground because I was if somebody looked at my
Oh,
face, they would think I was ugly.
yeah,
And because I was also bullied, like I wasn't physically bullied, but I was verbally, people made fun of me, and it really, got at my core, and that kind of
yeah,
stays with you for a long time until you, like you said, that you are a masterpiece, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that God
absolutely, yeah,
created you special, and you have a purpose too. Until you realize that, and maybe somebody needs to hear that, that you do have a purpose and that you are beautiful, and that God made you special. We all have flaws. Nobody is perfect, but
absolutely,
uh,
absolutely,
right. So
yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah. So um, when I asked you to do this, you said yes. You volunteered to do it, and I'm grateful that you did. Um, I wanted to know, I guess, what inspired you to say yes to doing Chronicle of Our Kings?
For me, like after the whole issue with George Floyd, I've started my own YouTube channel because I had a passion to really inspire a lot of our young men. Because when I look back at my life growing up in my own community, I didn't really have much role models growing up. Like a lot of people in my community back in the Caribbean, smoking marijuana, not being father to the kids, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to change that whole narrative, similar to what you are doing, an amazing
Right.
job you're
Yes.
doing right now. I want to change the narrative because people feel that we black men are everyone are bad, but
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. For me, I know where I came from, and I know a lot of us come from a really tough situation. But I want to also inspire a lot of the young men who came from really tough situation like myself that you could become
Mm-hmm.
someone, right? You
Yes.
could that you could become someone. It doesn't matter where you came from. You could come from a low situation as me, from a being abandoned. So that's the reason why when you said that, when I heard that you were doing this, for me it was a no-brainer because you are trying to reach and inspire and encourage a lot of young people that they could be able to tap into
Yeah.
the purpose. And so I just want to be part of that journey.
Awesome. That's so neat. It's interesting that we got the same inspiration for the same reason, like
Around the
from the
same time,
same
right?
thing, right?
Around the same time.
It's like, look how God works.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's awesome. So, nowadays, guys, young men have the examples of like athletes and stuff like that, things in the media that
Mhm.
are versions of success. I'm not saying that those are success stories, but like we were talking about just now, they don't have that everyday, version of success that, the average everyday guy can work hard and have a good life. How do you define success? Like if you had to give it Dellon's version or his definition, how would you define success?
Okay, well, first of all, for me, I think my success story really started off in really understanding who I am as a person. I think
Okay.
this is where it really happens, because once you understand who you are, then when peer pressure comes, then you wouldn't be going in all different directions. I remember when I was 11 or 12 years old, there was my very first mentor. He said to me that you are a leaf in the wind. And if you look at a leaf in the wind, when the leaf fall from the tree, wherever the wind blow it, it goes. If you
Uh-huh.
look at my life before, I was under peer pressure. So whenever
Mm.
people pull there, I go in that direction. I go in this
Mm-hmm.
direction. I go, wherever they want me to go, because I was looking for attention. I was
Mm-hmm.
looking to be
Acceptance.
able to get what we call ratings back in
Mm-hmm.
the Caribbean. And
Oh,
but,
okay.
but the moment when I found out who I am as a person, then no
Mm-hmm.
longer I'm being pulled and tossed into wherever people want me to, because I have confidence
Mm-hmm.
in who I am. And the moment
Good.
when you understand who you are, then guess what? You will know exactly where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first goal in success, knowing who you are. Number
Okay.
two, Number two, for me, after you know who you are, then know what you want to achieve from life.
Okay.
Not what your mother want you to achieve, not what your father want you to achieve,
I'm
not
so
what
glad you said
your
that part right
friend,
there.
right? Not what your friend want you to achieve. This is your life,
Uh-huh.
right? Just think about
Mm-hmm.
this. And you have to be able to know what you want. At the end of the day, when your life ends, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of story do you want someone to remember of you? Do you want someone
Mm-hmm.
to remember a story that you write that wasn't your story? You wrote your mom's story or your dad's story or your friend's story? No. What do you want? And whenever you found out what you want, you go for it, right? There will always be naysayers, right? I remember when I started off in becoming an accountant. I wanted to do accounting when I was in high school. And a friend of mine said to me, "No, accounting is hard." Guess what happened? I didn't do it, right? But I picked it up when I was in college. So my
Mm-hmm.
friend view of what I should do caused me to delay me
Right.
reaching my goal, right?
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
important that you know exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Failure is going to come about. One of my favorite quotes is from a guy called Winston Churchill. Winston
Mm-hmm.
Churchill says that success is moving from failure to failure without losing confidence. In reality, what I want to say is that once you know exactly what you want, it doesn't matter what you go through in life. It doesn't matter the bumps that you face in life. Stick with it, right? A reward going to come, right? You're going to meet your goals.
Yeah.
But also, I want to just leave one more point when coming to success.
Uh-huh.
Albert Einstein said this. He says that the measure of intelligence is to make changes, right? And what I get from that quote is that make little step. If you want to be an accountant, study every single day. Whatever you do every single day will able to help you to reach your full goal. Don't try to
Right.
eat, don't try to eat the entire goal in one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because throughout those times, the months where you study a little day by little day, guess what happened? You're building character, you're building integrity,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're building good work ethic, right? So yes, you might have a big goal, but look at small goals also. What I do every single day will determine not only me reaching the big goal, but also will
Mm-hmm.
help to build my characters, things that will help me in the workplace, things that will help me to become good workers. So this is what I want to say.
That's amazing stuff. Like, I wasn't even expecting all that. That's great. Like, that's really good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love what you said about your story, or basically your legacy is yours. It's not your friend, your mom, your dad, your
Absolutely.
cousin, whoever's trying to tell you, oh, you should do this. You should go out for this, not that. Like, you
Yeah,
know, and then what you said about listening to your friend kind of made you delay uh, pursuing your goal of what you really ultimately wanted to do because you listened to what they said. Don't delay
absolutely.
your
Yeah.
future for somebody else's opinion of what you should be doing. You got to live your life for
Well
you.
said. I love that quote. Well said.
That's what you said. I'm just repeating what you said. But that's really good, Paul. I love that. I mean, I called you your last name.
Actually, some people have two first name, two last name, right? So it's fine.
I know I'm not the only person that does that. I can't be.
Yeah.
Um, sorry, Dellon. Anywho, so we pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. You've said a lot of great things already, so I don't know if you have anything for this, but for the young men that are watching, what is one thing you would want them to take away from this discussion?
As you guys look at me, you know, as I look back at my past and I realize, you know, where I came from to looking right now, you know, life was tough for me. Life was hard. But one of the stuff that really helped me to be where I am today is to persevere, to never say, never give up, never give in, fight. Whatever goal that you want to achieve, don't let anyone dictate or tell you where you're going to go. Don't let anyone tell you who you are, right? You show them who you are. You tell them who you are by how you live. There's greatness within you, right? Remember this, there's greatness within you. And it doesn't matter where you are at right now, you are an overcomer. And I want you as you hear my voice, I want you to pause for a moment and I want you to say those very same words to yourself. You are an overcomer. And as you overcome, I want to also tell you what's going to happen. There'll be other people, other young men who are going to look at your life and they're going to say, I want to be just like this guy because he's an overcomer. Remember, what you do now and tomorrow, you are not only going to able to have a good job on amazing career, but you're going to inspire generation. Believe in yourself.
My, Delon. I'm a life coach. I'm wondering if that's what you're supposed to be doing too on the side. Anyway, that was good. That was really good. Thank you. Um,
No problem.
Definitely so much gratitude for having you on here today. I definitely I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing your story. I appreciate that you want that other young men know that they can do whatever it is that they want to do and that they are an overcomer. Your advice has been great. Your story is amazing and it's going to inspire a lot of people.
Mhm.
I know when we talked earlier, you said you have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, tell everybody where they can find you. If somebody wants to be mentored by you, how would they reach out to you? So how would they get to you if they want to be mentored? And tell us about your YouTube channel and how we can get to that and anything else you have going on that you want us to know about.
Okay, awesome. So as Shirley said, I have a YouTube channel. So my name is Dellon Paul. I guess you will see it on the
I'll put it in
screen
the
somewhere.
comments. Mhm.
Yeah. But also what is going on with me right now is that I just went through an amazing, well, I'm going through an amazing 8 weeks journey because I'm the type of person I'm always seeking to improve myself. And I met Shirley by doing Slaying My Inner Critic. And thank you so much, Shirley. You have been really inspirational in inspiring me into being more of a better man that I am today, and both yourself and Jennifer. So my point here is that I am always growing. I'm always improving. I am, for me, I'm not going to stop. And Shirley has been really good in helping me to become that better man. So my point in saying this is that every single one of us have to constantly keep growing. I am doing it my own self. I'm having people that I'm accountable to, Shirley and Jennifer, who is stretching me, who helped me to become this better man, right? And so always seek to improve. Always find people and courses and books that could able to help you to improve. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm not contented with where I am in life. I'm always want to improve. So I'm doing this course with Shelley that helping me to grow as a man.
So that's awesome. And, it's the things you're saying in terms of change you're making and things like that. I want everyone to remember, including you, that takes effort of your own. Like, we're here as the coaches to say, hey, do these things, but you guys are doing the things, you're doing the things. And like you said, helping yourself to become an even better person. So I guess that would be another one of your many good tips that you gave. Do self-development, always be learning.
Absolutely.
So where can everybody find you at? What's your YouTube channel?
So my name is Dellon Paul. So you just Google Dellon Paul and you will see this
Okay.
handsome face showing up on YouTube.
Awesome. So your YouTube channel is Dellon Paul. That's Dellon Paul, Paul.
Yes,
And then the other thing I was going to ask, is it okay if I throw your email address in the comments for anyone who might
absolutely,
want to mentor?
absolutely,
Or
absolutely.
any
I
tips
have a
on how
great,
to be a CPA?
yeah, CPA
Okay.
and whatever you pass, whatever, if you're going through like bullying or you have whatever situation, anxiety. I mean, I've went through anxiety. If you're going through
Hmm.
suicidal thoughts, I've been there, and I could be able
Right.
to be able to talk to you about it because I've had low moments in my life and I was able to fight it through. Whatever you're
Mhm.
going through, man, I wish I could just be there for you because people have been there for me, and I mean, you could overcome.
Awesome. I mean, guys, he even survived a hurricane. So
Whoa!
besides all of that, add the hurricane. But okay, well, it was awesome talking to you. I really appreciate you hopping on here. You guys who are catching this episode, thank you for watching. Please share it to other people who might need to hear everything Dellon has had to say. I'm going to call you by your last name one more time. Paul. It's Dellon Paul, people. It's the amazing Dellon Paul.
You sound like my godmother, right? Are you my godmother, son?
I have never done that. Like, as many times as I've talked to you, I've never called you by your last name. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and please do check out Dellon's YouTube channel. And if you want information about how to become a CPA or how to manage that inner critic when it comes to thoughts of suicide, feelings of abandonment, overcoming just anything crazy in your life, Dellon has been there and he can help you get through it. So I'll put his contact information in the comments and you guys can reach out to him. But I thank you for watching another Chronicle of Our Kings, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye. Take care.